everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a feel on this extra long set of nails. So the first thing that I'm doing is going in with my extra coarse drill bit to remove all of the gel polish, and we're going to do that on all of the nails. Remember that when you're removing gel polish with this drill bit, you want to make sure that you keep your drill moving at all times. You don't want to leave it in one spot for too long because it will cause friction and it's going to cause your client's nail to burn, and it is not a good feeling. So make sure that you're careful. Next, I'm going to go in and just push back the cuticles, and this is going to expose the new growth and help with reducing lifting. So we're going to do that on all of the nails. And then after that, we're going to go back in with the e-file. And when I was removing the gel polish, I used it at like 10,000 RPMs, Now I'm going to use it at 5,000 RPMs, and this is the Melody Susie Scarlet Nail Drill. Definitely recommend it, so I'll be sure to leave the link in the description. And I'm using a 180 sanding band, so we're just following the natural nail as always, just getting as close as you can to the cuticle area, but also making sure that we don't overfile. We're literally just removing the shine. We don't want to thin down the natural nail because that's how your nails get thin and brittle. So we're going to do that on all of the nails. Again, I'm using the e-file at 5,000 RPMs. As always, you can adjust the speed to whatever feels comfortable for you. Alrighty, so I dust the nails off, and then next I'm going to go in and replace that nail that's missing. And I just already sized the nail, and then I just applied the glue, placed the nail, holding it down for a few seconds, and then I'm going to go in and cut it down to her desired length. But while that glue dries really good, I'm going to go in and apply the primer, and this is the JC Beauty Concepts primer. Now before I apply the primer on the other hand, I'm going to go ahead and cut the nail down, and then I'm going to cut the size down as well and shape it into a coffin shape. The reason why I'm using the straight edge nail clipper to trim the nail down is because I broke my tip cutter and I forgot to take one from my house to the shop, so that's why you've seen that. But now I'm going in with my 80/80 hand file, and we're just going to shape the nails up, and of course following the sides and the free edge at exactly a 90-degree angle, and then just blending the nail tip right in the middle. Now because these tips are thicker, I go in with my e-file to blend the nail tip right in the middle, and I just use that same 180 sanding band that we use to remove the shine from the natural nail. Alrighty, so after I finish applying the primer, I'm going in with my JC Beauty Concepts acrylic system, and then the little pretty Dappen dish. I'll be sure to leave the information down below, but that was part of my free promo. That's one of the items that I received, and it's super cute. But we're just going in and we're going to go ahead and start applying the acrylic, and I am using my alpha brush in a number 10, and then I am going to switch over to using my other alpha brush, which is still a number 10, but this one I guess I didn't clean it good, so it had a little bit of acrylic stuck to it, and I could tell whenever I was brushing the acrylic because it would leave like little streaks. So make sure that you always clean your brush after each set, and then also make sure that your brush is clean before you start using it, because if not, you're not going to be able to apply your acrylics on smoothly. But as always, since we're doing a feel, we're just placing the acrylic closer to the cuticle area, patting it down, and then brushing it down towards the tip. And then since I did file away the not colored acrylic, but the gel polish, we just want to make sure that we go in and apply acrylic wherever it's needed as well, because sometimes I tend to overfile a little bit, so I might need to add a little bit more at the tip or wherever it's needed. But as always, just look at your nail from different angles so you know exactly where you need to add more product to. But for the most part, we're just applying around the cuticle area, like I said, patting it down, and then brushing down towards the tip and cleaning around your cuticle area with the very tip of your brush. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to do that on all of the nails. As always, y'all, it's super important. I know I just said this, but it's super important that as you're doing this, you're looking at your nail from the side so you know where you need to add some. Especially with extra long nails like this, you want to make sure that you have a nice apex, because you don't want the nails to break off really easily. You don't want the nails to be really flat either, because that's not cute at all. So I'm going to continue to apply the acrylic. If you're still having problems with your liquid to powder ratio, I do have a liquid to powder ratio video where you can practice your beads with my practice sheet, so I'll be sure to leave that video down below for you guys so you guys can check it out. And then also I was gonna mention one more thing, but I think I forgot, y'all. But anyways, I think I'm also going in and adding a little bit of clear on some nails to just even it out to make sure that the nails are not bumpy or anything. And that usually happens whenever I like fall off too much of the acrylic, whenever I'm removing the gel polish. But that's why I say look at the nail from different angles, because it's gonna be different for all of the nails. Alrighty, and another thing I meant to say is that you want to make sure that as you're doing this, you're wiping your brush off a lot when you're working, because you don't want the product to get stuck to your brush. You also want to make sure that you're using good paper towels, because if I was using the paper towel that's right underneath her hand, that one, I've used those before and they're Viva as well, but they don't absorb that liquid like the one that I'm using now, which is the Viva signature cloth. You want to make sure that it says signature cloth. That's the ones I use, and they just suck in all of that liquid and acrylic really good, so it doesn't get stuck in your brush. Some people also use the blue paper towels that they sell. They're usually like in the wherever like the automotive things are, like at Walmart. I know they have them at Sam's too, because I've seen a big pack as well, but those are really good as well. But whatever works for you is completely fine, just as long as it keeps your brush clean as you're working. Alrighty, I also want to mention that I know a lot of people always ask me, like, what are some things that I can do to cut down on time, to do nails longer because it takes me too long to do nails. Like, I get that question asked a lot. So, one of the main things that helped me is I'm pretty sure that you guys know that when I was in high school, I used to do nail competitions through Skills USA. And those competitions were timed. Like, we had an hour to do acrylic, an hour to do gel nails or whatever. So when I would practice, I would time myself. Like, I would literally set a timer for an hour, and I would try to beat the time every time because I still wanted to have a little time at the end to where I could, like, check the nails and fix anything that needed to be fixed. But at the time, like, this was like 1 hour for one hand, y'all. But still, so I kind of like kept doing that as I was learning, like just doing nails, period. I would just time myself and just try to beat the time every time. And not necessarily that I was rushing, but I would find things that work for me as far as like being really organized and knowing where everything is. That way I'm not like, searching for things, searching for my glue, for my tip cutter, because that takes time. Also, like, just making sure that you're not like, you can talk when you're doing clients, of course, communicate with your client, have a conversation, but you also don't want to like stop, to get your point across and stop to show her things. Like, you guys know what I mean. Like, sometimes it's hard because a lot of the times, like, we be so caught up in a conversation that like I'll stop and show them something on my phone, but I don't do that very often. And then whenever I'm doing nails, I also, like, if someone texts me, like, I don't text back until after I'm done. I try to do that all the time because, for one, I feel like it's rude to my client, but then also, like, that takes up time as well. And you'll just find little things here and there that's just gonna help you like speed up the process. Other things would just be like, instead of just going in and shaping the nails right away, just cutting the sides down to make time go by, or not necessarily go by a little bit faster, but just to save a little time, or just little tiny things. And it's going to be different for everyone, but as time goes by, you're going to find things that are going to help you. So that was just one little tip on timing. There's really, I know that you guys wish that there was something that I could just say, like, okay, do this and you're going to finish doing nails faster, but there's really nothing out there that would just cut down on your speed other than just practicing. Alrighty, so we're finishing the acrylic application. So now we're going to go in and just reshape the nails. So I am using an 80-80 hand file and just filing the sides and the free edge at exactly a 90-degree angle. You want to make sure that when you're doing this, you're watching your angle in which you're holding your file, because you don't want the nails to be rounded at the tip, or you don't want one side to be leaning towards the other side more, because then you're gonna have to take the nail off and replace it, because it's gonna be crooked and you're not gonna be able to fix it if it's really bad. So make sure that, like I said, you hold your file at a 90-degree angle. And also, as you're doing this, you check your nails. Like, you'll see how I stop and just look at the nail for like a second and then go in and file a little bit more if I need to. But you have to do that in order to make sure that everything looks good, that nothing's uneven. So make sure that you take that extra little time to do that as well, because your shape will make or break your nails. So make sure that you are paying attention to what you're doing. That way your nails will be really nice and straight and even. So we're going to do this on all of the nails, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alrighty, so after I finish reshaping the nails, we're going to go in with the e-file, and I'm using my fine drill bit, and we're going to file all of the nails, going around the cuticle area first, going from the right side all the way over to the left side, going back and forth until you're able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way you know that the acrylic is not on the skin and you won't get any lifting. So like I said, we're going to do that on all of the nails, and then of course filing the rest of the nail to make sure it's nice and even. I think I just said that, but yeah, you want to make sure it's nice and even. You don't want to have any bumps and lumps, so make sure that when you're doing this, you also look at the nail from the sides so you be able to see if you have any bumps and lumps, because if you just look at the nail from the top, you won't really be able to see it until you turn your finger over to the side. And then also, since these nails are curved, sometimes they'll have like little pieces of acrylic on the side, so I just go in and gently file that off with my e-file. And other than that, I think that's pretty much it. But same thing applies for whenever you, like anytime you're using your e-file. Like I said earlier at the beginning of the video, you want to make sure that you keep your e-file moving at all times, because if you leave it in one spot for too long, it's going to cause friction and it's going to cause your client's nail to burn. And also, if you look at my right hand right now, you see where my pinky is? Yeah, it's on their finger. You want to make sure that when you're doing this, you're holding their finger at all times with your pinky, because it helps me get stability. If I was not holding or placing my pinky on the side of their nail, like my drill would just be all over the place. So me doing this, I promise you that it gives me a lot of stability, and I'm able to basically maneuver my e-file wherever I need it to go. So, you know, just, I mean, it might not even be you holding it with your pinky, but just make sure that you have stability. So whatever you need to do, just do it, because it will help you a lot when you're doing this step. Alrighty, so next we're going to go in and buff the nails, and as always, this is going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nails from the hand file or the e-file. So make sure that you buff those nails really good. And then as you can see with my thumb, I go in and just fill on the nail to make sure there's no scratches, and if there is, I just go in and buff the nails a little bit more. So once we're done buffing, I'm just going to dust the nails off, and then I'm going to wipe them off with an alcohol wipe to get rid of that dust. After that, we're going to go in with the polish. So I'm using the color Perfect White, and then I'm also using a pink by Madame Glam. I forget the name of it, but I'll be sure to leave it down below for you guys. But as you can see, I'm going in with my small nail art brush, and I'm just drawing the smile line, and then I go in with the regular nail polish brush and just fill in the tip of the nail. And then if you need to go in and clean up your smile line, that's completely fine, but I like to just do it with the smaller nail art brush because I rarely ever have to do any cleaning up unless I kind of just mess up a little bit. Then of course I go in with the cleanup brush, but other than that, I'm able to get a nice smile line with this brush, and then I just fill in the nail, and I feel like it's a lot easier. So you know, you can definitely try it like this. If not, you could always just go in and just paint the tip and then clean the smile line with your nail art brush. But whenever it's like a deeper smile line like this one, it's just a lot easier to do it this way. But like I said, whatever works for you is completely fine. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and let this hand cure for 30 seconds. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on this other hand. And then the one, I don't know why I didn't do the white on the other hand first. But we're going to be doing pink and then the other one's white. So it's going to be the same process. Just drawing your small line, filling the tip in. And then we're going to cure. And then we're going to go in and do a second coat of both colors. Alrighty, so after we finish doing the 2 coats and cured both hands, I'm gonna go in with those same 2 colors, but we're gonna do the opposite. So on the white we're gonna use the pink, and then on the pink we're gonna use the white. So I'm just doing like the random little spots, which would be like a cow print, and I'm just gonna do it on the tip, and we're just gonna do that on all of the nails. But like I said, on the white we're doing pink dots, and then on the pink we're doing white dots. Yeah, there it goes. And I forgot to mention, but you could also do this with a brush if you would like to, but I think it's just a lot easier to do it with the dotting tool. So definitely recommend you guys doing it this way, or just using a dotting tool. Alrighty, so now I'm going to go in with the Madam Glam No Wipe Top Coat, which I absolutely love. And I'm going to apply that on all of the nails. And then we're going to cure these for 60 seconds under my Holly UV LED lamp by Madam Glam. I also have a promo code for them, so I'll be sure to leave that down below. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. As you can see, they turned out really pretty. I love those two colors together, and I hope you guys enjoyed. So as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at GetNo32, and I will see you guys next time.